This is the instructional how-to video for the Martin del Valle trailer. Sorry if I pronounced it incorrectly. I'm going to show the operational functions of your brand new concession trailer. I've got everything in the operating position. I've got your exterior lights on each side, flip up shelf in place, concession window open. Then show your exterior light or exterior plug in the operational position. We've got your gas lines on, hood fan on, your exterior light here by the entry door. Got your waste drain valve. Simply hook up your hose to this valve, pull and release. Water will flow out. City water fill box. This is for filling the freshwater tank itself. Food grade water hose, be able to fill up the freshwater tank. And if you want to bypass the tank, you can use the city water fill connection itself, bypassing the tank, and no need for the water pump. This flap will move out of the way, that way you can lock up your door. Access door, it's going to give you access to your electrical panel, plumbing, and storage area. Got your cable running out through the cable hatch, plugged into my shore power itself. Again, we have our 100 amp panel, 50 amp main breaker, all 20 amp independent circuits. We have our 30 amp and 30 amp itself, 50 amp 240 volt power cord. Have your battery charger and your battery for the lighting system. Have your water heater here plugged in. Freshwater tank itself, you can see the water line. And we have our water pump. We also have our blowout valve here, which you will see in the next video, that is sent for winterization. And then we have our drain valve and our tank shutoff valve. Water pump switch here, interior and exterior light switches here. Let's see what our AC's. Oh yeah, we're sitting at 76 and cooling down. We'll go ahead and go over water temp on the (110 degrees) and still heating up. Always want to make sure that we have water flow like you see here on both faucets before ever plugging the water heater in itself. Go ahead and show the rest of the outlets working. Got your switch, this switch here for the makeup air fan. That switch is for your exhaust fan. Got your fire suppression tank, control head, 30 amp outlets. We're here on the driver's side. We got our upper shelf. Then we've got our Vanco fridge, sitting at 37 degrees. Also, we've got our makeup air itself. You always want to make sure that you have the exhaust fan on before you ever turn the gas on to the trailer itself. We'll go ahead and show the operation of the deep fryer. You can see that pilot light is on. And we'll go ahead and turn it back off and show you how to start it back up. So, you see the function of it working. Before you ever turn this on, turn on, off, making sure this thermostat connects with the gas valve. Then you would turn to where the L meets the red dot and allows you to push in. You push in and hold here while administering fire to the thermopile. Once that is lit, you will continue to hold the pilot button for generally about 30 seconds. Once it's lit, then you would turn it to the on position and you have full control for here. You do have a drain valve in your paperwork that's in your fridge. You can plug into here and open the valve up itself. As far as the griddle right next to it, you take and administer your light through here, which is going to light the pilot there, right there. So at the end of this flexible hose is where your pilot light is, and at that point then you have full control for turning your burner on. You do not want to force light, so this equipment's always in the off position when turning the gas on. Once you do have your pilot, then you can turn your gas valve on. Again, never turn on till your pilot light is lit. Same thing for these burners here. As you can see, the pilot is lit. These are in the off position. That pilot is, you can see it right under there. Never a need to force light. Force light meaning never turn these on until the pilot lights are lit. As you see how much flame is coming up, that's how much gas would be coming up if it was not lit, which would be a large amount. You do have a drain pan here below for anything that drips over. All gas valves located here and accessible behind the table itself. These filters are removable for cleaning purposes. Drip tray, monitor this cup daily because right below it is your burners. I'll go ahead and turn off the gas itself so we can turn the hood fan off. So your tank is the same way. Turn off the tank and the valve itself. When you are pressurizing the system itself, again, all the equipment's in the off position, your hood fan is on. This will be connected to your tank. You would turn on the tank first and slowly turn on this valve here. When turning this valve on, you should hear a charge of the line and that's it. If you hear a rush of gas continuously flowing, do turn off, inspect inside, making sure nobody has turned anything on. If everything is in the off position and you turn this back on and there is still heavy amounts of gas coming through here, again, turn off and make sure that you get a licensed plumber to come out and check the piping that is below because it runs below the trailer and road debris can damage it. Again, always be attentive to gas coming through here. Now when the equipment is on, there's gas coming through here, obviously when everything's being in operational means, but in initial startup, no gas should be coming through here upon startup. It should be just a charge of the line and that's it. Always turn the tank off, always turn the valve off itself before going into transport and when closed for business. We can turn this hood fan off itself now because it's not needed, the gas is off. Do make sure that you clean the deep fryer before its first initial use. Same thing for the griddle itself. Making sure that you remove and clean all the oils off of here. These burners are tied in place for safety purposes. Once that does break, do replace it with more baling wire. Again, the filters are removable and cleanable. Do make sure that you monitor and clean those, as well as the grease cup. Again, always run the exhaust fan when turning the gas on, because of the heat sensors that you see here will break and set the fire suppression system off. Everything in this tank would dump out of these valves here. This system is live and ready to go. You do need to have your local fire suppression company and fire marshal come out for tagging the system itself. Let's see if we've got the AC. It's cooled down some. Well, we're sitting at 69. It's still cooling down itself. Before shutting everything off, do make sure, or before closing up, making sure that the AC's off, the hood system's off. Of course, the gas would be off itself. You can turn the refrigeration off by doing so here. Again, forced air, allowing no flies to come through this air curtain itself, and then you have your makeup air fan. You can do so by turning the water pump off also, and all of your interior and exterior light switches. Do make sure that your hose is disconnected and the cap put back in place before transport, as well as your freshwater hose disconnected. Always make sure that your power cable is pulled back inside in a safe manner so that it doesn't get ruined. For setup and shutting down the flip up counter, there's a screw right here in the middle. Pressing upward allows it to roll back down into place. Again, always making sure that you close this and lock with a pin here. Always want to make sure that your tires are inflated to the proper PSI. Always check lug nuts. Once a year you will need to remove this grease cap and apply grease to the Zerk fitting. And as always, make sure that your tail lights are in functional, blinkers, brakes, running lights. We thank you for taking the time to view this video. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. We appreciate your business and wish you the very best.